9, 8, 7. We have a go for main engine start. 4, 3, 2, 1, and liftoff.
It's the SFL Nights it's the SFL Nights with A.J.Striker, with A.J.Striker. It's the SFL Nights it's the SFL Nights with A.J.Striker, with A.J.Striker. Ashley Jackson about the action. SFL news, come and join with interaction. Whatever happens, happens. Yeah, you will leave with satisfaction. Yeah, tell your team and tell your captain. Come and tune in, new episodes weekly. You can tune in from your room in afternoons, and when the moon hits, it's unique. It's the SFL Nights with...
What's up, SFL Nation? Welcome back to SFL Nights with A.J.Striker. Thank you so much for joining me today or tonight or whenever you decided to hit that play button or turn on that radio dial. Really appreciate it, y'all. And I have here with me my good friend, Mr. T. Roy Gaines. He is the El Presidente. He is the fullback and GM for the Baltimore Vultures. How are you?
I am a pitcher today. Mm-hmm. That's how I am. I'm doing good.
Yes, you are a picture today, unfortunately. Sometimes new locations don't always work out, so I've been there, I've done that. I should turn myself into a picture so we can match, huh?
If we ain't gonna match, you're gonna be wearing different colors than I am.
That's true. That's true. So how you been, man?
Hanging in there, recovering from an injury. Other than that, just hang in there.
Hey, man, gotta be more careful, brother. When
it's
you hit that 30 mark.
Funny. They ain't no 30. It's 40. I'm 40 in less than a month.
Oh, man.
Well, actually, a month. It's not less than a month yet.
No, man. They say when you hit them 30s, and so that means you're not 40 yet. So that means you're in your 30s. You're 39 years old, and you over here, you hurt your knee sleeping.
Yep.
I hurt my knee just getting out of bed. So what's going on? 30s is just what?
Old.
It starts that early. Dang it. I wish somebody would have told me.
I wish somebody would have told me too.
Hey, man, but welcome back to the show. I'm glad to have you back on.
Thank you for having me back.
Anytime.
Appreciate it.
Anytime. So, everybody, we are going over week 8 action, and it was a doozy of a week, man. Also going to be going over some week 9 pick'ems. Going to be doing SFL trivia, Striker Nights trivia, I should say. And it's going to be a little different. I'm not going to rely on that ticker. I'm actually going to do something that's common knowledge. So it's just about you getting the responses in as quickly as possible. Okay. Then I'm going to have my 4th and goal interviews, which will feature Mr. Jorge Torres of the Queen City Corsairs and 2 rookies, Mr. Adam Chance and Mr.
Kristian Aleixo.
Oh, you're going to be seeing them because they're going to be a part of the SFLM real soon.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so week 8 action was, people are starting to pull away from the pack with these scores. And it goes as follows. So Queen City Corsairs took on the Arizona Scorpions, where Arizona lost to the Queen City Corsairs 33-31. And it's crazy because we always have these close games and fall this short from winning, But Arizona had 392 yards passing, 81 yards rushing for 473 yards total. Time of possession was 25 minutes, 17 seconds with 2 mistakes. Queen City had 218 yards passing, 183 yards rushing for 401 yards total. Time of possession was 18 minutes, 18 seconds, no mistakes. On the 5th, Sioux Falls Sparrows took on the DC Dragons, where Sioux Falls won 31-21. Lord Destro Production Stadium. Sioux Falls had 233 yards passing, 107 yards rushing for 340 yards total. Time possession was 22 minutes and 18 seconds with no mistakes. DC had 308 yards passing, 61 yards rushing for 369 yards total. Their time of possession was 19 minutes and 55 seconds with only 3 mistakes. Also on the 5th, the Lone Star Glory took on the LA Lycans, where Lone Star won 27-23. Lone Star had 169 yards passing, 47 yards rushing for 216 yards total. Time of possession was 15 minutes, 25 seconds, with only 1 mistake. LA had 315 yards passing, 90 yards rushing, 405 yards total. Their time of possession was 28 minutes, 1 second, with 2 mistakes. Also on the 5th, the Fort Worth Toros took on the Vancouver Legion, where Vancouver won 30-24. Fort Worth had 250 yards passing, 100 yards rushing for 350 yards total. Time of possession was 21 minutes, 12 seconds with 3 turnovers. Vancouver had 243 yards passing, 88 yards rushing for 331 yards total. Their time of possession was 22 minutes, 17 seconds with 2 mistakes. On the 6th, Denver Nightwings took on the London Knights, where London won in Queensway, 36-28. Denver had 228 yards passing, 49 yards rushing for 270 yards total. Their time of possession was 17 minutes and 8 seconds with 4 mistakes. London had 370 yards passing, 102 yards rushing for 472 yards total. Time of possession was 26 minutes, 3 seconds, 2 mistakes. Mexico City took on the Portland Fleet in the Shipyard, where Mexico City won 31-20. Mexico had 325 yards passing, 101 yards rushing for 426 yards total. Time of possession was 21 minutes and 56 seconds with only 2 mistakes. Portland had 230 yards passing for 98 yards rushing, 328 yards total. Time of possession was 22 minutes and 4 seconds with also 2 mistakes. Carolina Skyhawks took on the Louisiana Revolution, where in Stack Up Stadium, and Louisiana won 22-14. Carolina had 255 yards passing, 25 yards rushing for 280 yards total. Time of possession was 13 minutes, 46 seconds of 2 mistakes. Louisiana had 279 yards passing, 126 yards rushing for 405 yards total. Time of possession was 29 minutes, 23 seconds with 2 mistakes as well. And lastly, the Charleston Predators took on the Tulsa Desperados, where Tulsa won 31-17. Charleston had 370 yards passing, 47 yards rushing with 417 yards total. Their time of possession was 18 minutes, 34 seconds with 4 turnovers. Tulsa had 244 yards passing, 148 yards rushing for 392 yards total. Time of possession was 24 minutes, 28 seconds with 1 mistake. So T-Roy, now it seems like this week, it's kind of strange. Of course, you brought up a good point a couple weeks ago when you said that the turnover ratio from the quarterbacks definitely can control the games. But it looks like there are some teams that had possession or had control of the game and just kind of lost it in the end. I mean, they controlled in passing, they controlled in even time of possession, but still did not win the game. So what does that mean?
More importantly, it's like, and I had to watch every game in its entirety. We got to probably look at the stats, look on third down conversions, whether or not they scored in the red zone, they had to settle for 3. All depends on the certain situations that happen as games go along. Any one thing can definitely be the difference maker, for lack of a better term, in whether or not a team wins. Just one messed up mistake. I was calling with Andy Hamilton. I was the color commentator for that game with London Denver, and it looks like Ryan Quintero is about to break a long touchdown run, but things do happen. In the middle of that run, he was forced to turn the opposite way when there's nothing that kept him from doing so, and that could have helped Denver make that comeback if he was able to get in that end zone on that play. So I'm saying just little things that can happen that you really can't prepare for. You hope you can, but still, stuff you can't prepare for. The kick returns for touchdowns you can't prepare for, or you could, but that can definitely make a big difference. So it's just, you gotta hope that APF likes you or likes your game plan, and you gotta hope that you have a better game plan than your opponent that week.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Before we move on to MVPs, what are your thoughts on what Cam posted earlier today in regards to the
sliders and stuff?
Yes.
Being public. Like I said, Cam, there's, I guess, from what I heard, very little from what I heard, is that there are some people thinking that we're withholding information from everybody. And all you have to do is just talk to Cam. He'll let you know whatever you need to know at that point or as soon as possible. Yeah. I think, unfortunately, for those who may be struggling, I guess that's maybe the ones who are questioning it, or maybe some outsiders that got into the Discord may be questioning it. I'm not for sure what's going on, but, you know, I totally back the commissioner. If I think there's a problem with our league, you would not see me here. I would not be here. But I think there's some questionability about the about us as a product and as a esports league. Mm-hmm. So I say that's just either some teams trying to figure out what's going on. They want to blame it on something that really is nothing to blame on. Or maybe some outsiders that want to start some crap. I don't know. So it's unfortunate, but all I'd say is, like Cam said, the players and the owners and the teams are the ones that make the league. So you'll see it as the rest of the season goes on, as the quality of the play will continue to improve.
Mm-hmm. Well, and my thing about that is, you know, Cam has always been an open book. I mean, as far as if you come to him and if you have any questions, like for instance, last season when we were at the convention and we just thought we were supposed to win that game over Queen City because of things, you know, that Eddie thought that he took out. He found out that he didn't. But we went to Cam and it was no problem for him to pull up everything that we wanted to see. If you go to him and just, if you have any questions about that kind of stuff, just ask. As a matter of fact, we dealt with that on my show. And I'm going to have to sift through all of them just to remember exactly which one. But
right.
And I can leave that link in the description where you guys can ask. He goes into detail about that because I asked him about that before. Like, are the game plans that are submitted by coaches every week, are those the same game plans, those the same schematics that are going inside of the Xbox? There's nothing being manipulated in any way. He gave us he gave me the whole rundown on that. So make sure I leave it in the description. But yeah, like I said, if you have any questions, just ask. All the speculations, all the things like that is just nothing but bring confusion. So if you're not quite sure, then you just ask first, you know?
And I'm going to add on to this, like, think about this as, you know, Cam's, you know, baby, for the lack of a better term. Mm-hmm. He knows that the integrity of this product relies on him doing his best, and he's not going to let or have a scandal or anything happen under his watch. Otherwise, it's going to ruin what he worked so dang on hard to build up for all these years.
Yep.
I mean, this thing was around before I even joined back in 2018. This has been around for a while, and he doesn't want to see anybody fail, and he definitely does not want to fail on this. And trust me, integrity is definitely something that Cameron Irvine is all about. So I don't know. I guess that those who think that something's up, I think they just unfortunately may be struggling right now, and hopefully things will turn around for them as soon as next week, or this week, excuse me, coming up. But yeah, one thing nobody has to question about is Cam's integrity. And again, this is the legend settings, and I think Cam mentioned down that post. This was voted, majority voted on this. It was like no contest. Everybody voted except for like a couple of owners that wanted the legend settings. So this is something that even the owners themselves wanted when it's all said and done. So there you go. Yeah.
You asked for it, got to deal with the repercussions of that, So I think my next question is going to be which setting was better, the original or the legend. So that's going to be a topic for when I get some of these coaches on. But on to MVPs of the week for week 8. All right.
Week 8 MVP stars include Mr. B.E. Robo over in Louisiana, their wide receiver. 15 receptions, 141 yards, 1 touchdown, 9.4, averaging 9.4 yards per catch. Quarterback Johnny Picker over in Louisiana had 34 completions out of 52 attempts, 370 yards, 4 touchdowns, and his quarterback rating is 95.8. Vancouver's own halfback Robert Redford had 28 attempts, 86 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 6 reception yards. Sioux Falls halfback G.P. Wells had 16 attempts, 96 yards, 1 touchdown, 110 reception yards, and 1 reception touchdown. Mexico City's quarterback Matt Wilson, 20 completions out of 29 attempts, 325 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a quarterback rating of 112. Queen City's halfback Jet Zero had 14 attempts, 173 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 17 reception yards. Lone Star Glory's Greg Soto, wide receiver, 6 receptions, 66 yards, 219 kick return yards, and 1 kick return touchdown. Awesome. The Desperados. Finally, the Desperados. Corey Jones, wide receiver, had 4 receptions, 120 yards, 2 touchdowns, and averaged 30 yards per catch. So, to all the MVPs out there, congratulations, and keep grinding. I see you.
Now, on to trivia questions for the week. Now, winner of last week's trivia question was, of course, Coach Eddie Gage was the winner of the prize. He did get the answers in fastest. Very close was Guy. Oh man, Guy, I wanted you to get it because you kept getting half of it. And I was like, come on, just answer the other one. And so the way it works, everybody, I'm going to ask these trivia questions just in case you're new. It's about the SFL. It's about the games, just wanting you to pay attention to what's really going on. Besides the game sometimes, like the little ticker. I'm not going to do the ticker like I for the last game like I normally would do. This is actually just some common knowledge things. Like if you're a member of the SFL, you should know this. The only people that may not know this are people that are just joining. But if they do their homework really fast, then they could too.
Question before you ask that next one. What was the other question? Because at last week's episode, I was definitely hurt and drugged up. So I missed that one.
Hold on. Let me see if I can remember. Okay. So it was which QB is on pace for the most passing yards since season 7, his personal best.
Was it Pickler?
Nope.
So since season 7?
Mm-hmm.
Only other guess I can think of, I don't know if that's him. It's not Matt Wilson, is it?
It is.
Oh, it is. Okay, cool.
Okay.
What was the other question?
What event is next level or the SFL, and the SFL trying to televise?
The convention.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
There you go. Y'all lucky I don't answer these questions, otherwise none of y'all have a shot.
None of them.
I'm talking so much trash right now. Please ignore me.
Well, yeah, you probably know these two, and don't say nothing.
I won't say. Yeah, we already. Yeah, not saying nothing. I do know.
So, first trivia question tonight is: name 3 SFLM teams. Just name 3. And then the second one is name 3 content creator shows or articles for the SFL. If you can name those, if you can give me those answers the fastest, then you win the prize. All right. So T-Roy, you think you got those?
Oh, I got those, but not gonna say it. And Eddie, I know you watching this. Give them a chance, brother. Give them a chance.
Just turn it off. Turn off the show. No.
Don't turn it off. Don't listen to her. Just don't say anything. That's all. Don't type anything. Give people a day or two. Eddie.
Gotcha. And on to week 9 action. So on March the 12th, man, these are going to be some good games, T-Roy. Jacksonville Kings is taking on the Atlanta Swarm at the Hive, 2:30. Who you got?
All right, it's the return of Marcus Dunhill to his old team and old stadium. We know when Jacksonville, they're one of the harder teams. When they're at home, they're on point. Sometimes in the road, that's when they struggle a little bit. Atlanta is also a tough place to win. I'm guessing Jacksonville. Just a coin flip. I think it'll be a close one, but I think Jacksonville wins it.
Okay. All right. I think because they're at home, I'm going to go with Atlanta. I think that they will have that secret recipe. I think that Dynasty will be able to kind of test those waters in Jacksonville as far as their secondary. And I think he's gonna land a few. I think they're gonna win. It's gonna be a really close game. I think they're gonna win probably by at most 7 points. Fort Worth Toros taking on the San Diego Mavericks at Robert Hansen Field at Lee Arches Stadium, 3 p.m. on the 12th. Who you got?
I'm going because both teams are definitely fighting for their playoffs lives, but more Fort Worth than San Diego. I think if Fort Worth's gonna win this, they're gonna have to have their running game to help balance out, help make them two-dimensional or less predictable. And I think Fort Worth is gonna try to do that. And based off of that, knowing how Jason Williams is, I'm picking Fort Worth on this one.
I totally agree. Jason can get off against the San Diego defense, then they definitely will be taking home the win. Vancouver Legion will be taking on the Mexico City Aztecs at 4:45 p.m. Eastern at Estadio Azteca. Who you got?
This is gonna be a tough one. This Vancouver and Mexico City, new rivalry. I think for Vancouver to win. Their defense is on point. Their offense, high-powered passing attack. But I think, just like I said, for Fort Worth, it's going to have to happen for Vancouver. And it's not like it can't happen, but Robert Redford has to have a 100-yard rushing game, if possible. So I'm going to go and say Vancouver should win this one, if on a point of Redford getting 100 yards rushing.
Yeah, Vancouver has a lot of weapons. Not to say Mexico City doesn't. I mean, with the veteran quarterback Matt Wilson, with one of his favorite targets, Mike Daggs. Just don't know if that's going to be enough, and they will be at home. So I don't know if that's going to be enough to take on this Vancouver team. So I think I'm going to go with Vancouver on this one. So also on the 12th, Portland Fleet will be taking on the Lone Star Glory at Medal of Honor Field, 5:15 p.m. Eastern. Who do you have?
Now, I think this will be Lone Star on this one. I want Portland to get their first win of the season. It's going to be very tough against Lone Star, and Lone Star, it's riding high. So I'm going to go with the Glory. I think the Glory has just too much on all sides of the ball.
Yeah, I have to agree with you again, T-Roy. I mean, Lone Star is on a good run right now. Portland is still struggling, and until they can find that rhythm, that rhythm in the offense, like they came in with that whole what's the word? I'm trying to think of the actual word. I can't think of words, T-Roy. They came in and we had the expectations of Portland to do a lot better than they have been performing this season. And I'm not quite sure if they're just trying to test things and it's not working out. But that said, I will be going with Lone Star Glory on this one. The London Knights will be taking on the Las Vegas Fury at Silver State Stadium on the 13th at 5 p.m. Who do you have?
This tough one, but I think London may pull this out on the road. The thing is, on the road, you want your star quarterback Pickler to throw less interceptions because the momentum at home for the home team is definitely there. I think Pickler has to, don't throw it for 70 times like he did 2 weeks ago. They fixed that last week against Denver, and Robert referencing him going for Robert Merrill, the other Robert Merrill, the 3-time champion Robert Merrill, went over 100 yards rushing last week against Denver. I think that's the formula. Their defense is good. I think I'm gonna give it to London on this one.
Just to be a little contrary, I think I'm gonna go with Las Vegas, even though they are in our division. That would not look good for us. But I think Las Vegas has a way of surprising people when they least expect it, and I think that London, they're not careful, will fall victim to that. So I'm actually going to go with Las Vegas, especially since they're at home. On the 13th, the Tulsa Desperados will be taking on the Carolina Skyhawks at 5:20 p.m. at David A. Richardson Memorial Stadium. It's going to be a good game. T-Roy, who you got?
I'm going to go with Carolina only because they are hungry. I hate to say desperate too, but that unfortunately is the case for a win so they can, improve their playoff chances. They need to win this one bad. I think they're going to figure things out. I do think they'll get that running attack going again. I'm going with Carolina.
Yeah, I think I'm going to agree with you. I think that they're going to get coaches over there in Carolina are going to get Matt South, more involved, maybe be able to get him that protection that he needs to complete those passes and take home the win for Carolina at home. Louisiana Revolution, we're taking on the Charleston Predators at Fort Moultrie Memorial Stadium, 7 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be a good game too, T-Roy. Who you got?
This was going to be hard. I think Charleston's angry for how last game, with the results of the last game against Tulsa. So I know they angry. They looking to get back on track again, but Louisiana's defense has been on point. Offense is struggling a little bit to score. I do think Charleston had the weapons, but with Kentez Johnson now coming back, of course, his progressions is a little bit further back than what Drew's was at the start of the season. So they're going to have to recognize that and game plan for that. They mean the offensive coordinators for Charleston to make sure that Kentez will be set up for success against a very good defense of the Revolution. This is a toss-up too. I'm going to go with Carolina, however.
You mean Charleston?
Thank you, Charleston.
Sorry.
They're going to be mad at me, aren't they?
Yeah, they're going to You thought we was on the last question. That's all. I think. Yeah, you got a good point. The points that you made are very, very good. Charleston is probably going to be playing angrily too. And Charleston does like. Let's see. They have a way of surprising you, just like the Las Vegas Fury. When I was speaking of earlier, they do have a way of pulling something out that you're not expecting, and I think they're actually going to win that game too. Sioux Falls Sparrows will be taking on the Baltimore Vultures, 7:20 p.m. At Sports Gamer Online Stadium. So I know you're not choosing, so I'm going to go with the undefeated Baltimore Vultures at this point. It is about who has the better offense, whose defense can withstand this dominant Baltimore offense. And right now, I'm not seeing it right now. So I think Baltimore is going to win this game. On to DC Dragons taking on the Denver Nightwings at 9 p.m. on the 13th as well. Going to be a great game, T-Roy. I think I'm going to go with DC on this one. They have been steamrolling everybody. And it will be at Richard L. Snowden Stadium too. They have a way of steamrolling people. So I think they're actually going to come out victorious on this one. What about you?
I think this might be a little bit closer than what some people may think. Mm-hmm. I think Denver's going to make the adjustments, which their biggest problem in the game against London was the underthrown passes, especially down the middle. Anthony Wild just basically was a monster making those 3 interceptions on Eric Price. And I think Denver is going to clean that up big time. They know they're going to have to stop the running game of Kevin Say. And I think they have the ability to do so. It will be tough. However, I am going with DC on this one. I think that DC has what it takes to get the win on the road against Denver.
Yeah, indeed. They've just been playing some really good ball this season. Can't take it. I can't deny them. Houston Hyenas will be taking on the Los Angeles Vikings at Full Moon Coliseum, 9:20 p.m. Eastern on the 13th. It's going to be a great game. I think that LA is going to defend their home turf, and I think that they're going to win, but I don't think that they're going to win by a lot. I think they're going to win probably maybe by about 10 points at most. But I think they're going to wind up, because of the momentum, that was the word I was looking for earlier, momentum. The momentum that they have going into this game, I think that's going to carry over. I think Sully is going to, complete a lot more of his passes than he has been, being more careful with the ball. I think they've been trying to work with him specifically on that. And I think that's how they're going to win this game.
I'm going to go with Houston, and here's why. I think the coaching staff in Houston is going to be aware that they want to let their quarterback basically take what the defense of the Lions give them. If they work on that game plan and have Brad Jones continue where he left off 2 weeks ago with a 200-yard performance, and then lull them to sleep with maybe, short 5, the 6 or 10-yard passes, and then those runs. Then later on, they test down the field with DR Sim or any of the others from the receiving core. I think if they do that, that's going to help Dave Burr a lot, and I think they'll get the win, but it's going to be a close one. But I'll pick Houston for this.
Okay, sounds good. And on the last game on the 14th, Monday night game will be St. Louis Gladiators taking on the Florida Storm in the eye at 7:15 p.m. I'm going to let you go first on this one, T-Roy.
All right, So Florida is coming off a bye after they lost a close one to Charleston 2 weeks ago. So one thing everybody has to know, a team owned by MyRX is very hard to beat after a loss. They're going to be motivated. However, I know that St. Louis has the dogs to bring it. I think that Florida is angry. They got a week to prepare. So did I actually believe that St. Louis also have a week to prepare. So both teams were off last week. I believe I'm going with Florida on this one. I think they'll be the angrier team, and they're gonna be ready to come out and unleash the storm, for the lack of a better phrase. St. Louis be ready, but I think this is going to be Florida's night.
I definitely agree. It is hard to beat Florida at home, for one. They are angry, secondly. And when you have fresh legs from both teams, it's definitely going to be, I think, a not necessarily high scoring game, but I think it will come down to the defense on this one. And I think that Alex Big Sexy Dominguez and his crew, his Hall of Fame crew over there, will be the reason why Florida wins this. I'm going to give it to Florida. Whew. These are getting hard. These picks are getting...
It's supposed to be. It's supposed to be as the season comes to the close, we're going to start seeing those who are ready to make the playoffs start separating from those who are just on the outside looking in. So hopefully everybody's ready to buckle up and get ready for this bumpy ride.
Indeed. And everybody's mission now is who is going to topple that Baltimore team. Will you be toppled? We'll see.
Sorry, I don't want to talk trash. Karma bites me in the butt in the hard way. Every time I talk trash, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut.
No, you don't have to. You got Chef Sharon Yates doing that, boy. He got enough. He'll talk enough for both of y'all. All y'all, actually. But everybody up next. Oh, go ahead.
No, you're fine.
But up next, we have my 4th and Goal interviews coming right up. All right, welcome back to my 4th and Goal interview with Mr. Jorge Torres. He is the free safety over in Queen City, a team that we will be playing tomorrow. How are you doing?
I'm good, Ashley. How are you?
That's good. I'm doing pretty good, man. I think the last time you were on my show, I had you on for my mental health show that we were doing.
Yeah, that was an awesome show.
Yeah,
awesome. We'll always be showing awareness for that. Mm-hmm. So it was great. Great to be back.
I'm glad to have you back. Now you're on a whole different team, so you're going to have to tell me about how that whole process went.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So to get started with that whole team process, because it wasn't a decision that was mutual, I'd say, but it wasn't problematic. It was more so I had a lot of stuff going on, so I ended up missing a couple of progressions, and understandably, I had to be let go, and it was about, I think, 5-6 progressions. So I spoke to the coach, and we just got to the bottom of it, and it was a very respectful outing on my part. I think I followed it pretty well. He obviously put me on to a lot of other teams for interviews during the whole free agency period. So it was a mutual respectful parting of ways. I like where I'm at. I like Queen City. I'll always have respect for Tulsa for taking that chance on me in the second round. Great team, great guys over there. Nothing but love for Jason France or, we got JQ, my first QB1 here in the league. So, they're brothers for life, but now I'm repping new colors. I got a new squad. So it's been a lot of fun playing with Queen City.
Yeah, I can tell. You've been having a good time, especially when I saw you on camera for the Monday night game with you and Nathaniel and Saran Yates and T-Roy. Tell me about that experience.
So it was fun. It was definitely something that I'm glad Cam incorporated with the league. I completely forgot who said it during the broadcast, but it really brought the whole motto of from couch to field into the whole, aspect of watching the game and being able to share the emotions with my fellow players like Nate, and then also the rivals, which obviously kudos to Baltimore. It was an amazing game. It was a real nail biter, as we all were saying during the broadcast. It felt like the first, second, and third were all fourth quarters. So it was a great game. A lot of highs, a lot of lows. Overall, it was great chemistry between everyone. I think Cam did a great job with the questions and, analyzing each and every player, giving them the little chance to speak. Mm-hmm. And I definitely think it's something that the league should not to say improve on, but, build from this and maybe, get different types of segments, not only players, maybe we can get some fans on cam, something like that. It'd be cool.
Definitely. It does bring a different dynamic. Like maybe when he added the different camera angles for like behind the quarterback and things of that nature. So I do like the fact that he is trying to add these little nuances to kind of stand out, from everybody else. So let's talk about your season in Queen City. So. Yep. As a player, first off, we're going to start off with you personally. You're a free safety. How do you think that he is performing right now? And overall.
Well, to be quite frank, the position I play is I'm currently labeled as a free safety, but I don't necessarily fill the role of free safety. If you can see during the intros of the game when they show the lineup. I'm not marked down as free safety. We're actually what I'm called as a reaver back, or what it's referred to in Queen City. It's a brand new position that the coaches kind of installed, as in I play the nickel. I also get moved to cornerback a little bit as well. And then you will see me on a couple cover twos. Really does depend on the formation the offense is playing. But I'm basically, let's say, Taysom Hill of the defensive side. I do play, like I said, corner, nickel, free safety sometimes. Maybe even you can see me as inside linebacker or rushing up on the quarterback. It's been ups and downs. I would say it's not as consistent as my Tulsa season. I did have a really good 2 years over there, because of the consistency at free safety. I know there was, I think my rookie season, I got nominated for Diva of the Week. I got 3 interceptions in one of those games. So it was just something that, it's taking some time adjusting to. But a little spoiler alert for next season. I'm looking to stay in New York over with Queen City. But I'm also looking to switch positions. And I think the GM as well as my coach, we're all on the same page. So you guys are going to have to stay tuned for that. And it's something that I'm really excited for because it's coming up. All these progressions are going to be building up to that next year. So it's not only focusing on, the current season, which we are, the build of my player up until I think last week was strictly focused on the season. But now we're going the transitional route and I'm looking to, explore further areas and build that consistency that I had at Tulsa, but maybe at a different position with the skill set I currently have.
That's interesting. I had no idea you were playing all of those, roles. And I hope that you're getting paid for each individual role. That's a lot.
That'd be nice. But right. as we all saw in the game, it's a little costly sometimes. My player doesn't adjust, I think, as well as it would, like I said, being consistently as a free safety role, just being a spy or a ball hawk. So I got about 3 penalties last game. Some, I think I had holding call or defensive holding. I don't know, it was pass interference. Then I had a really blatant face mask that just was an undisciplinary penalty. So all those things are just little, areas of my game that I'm looking to fix with this new position change. Okay. It's something, obviously to improve on in every aspect. So.
Nice. So what do you think about the team's overall season so far? I mean, you guys are sitting at, I think it's what, 2-4 now?
Yeah, 2-4.
Yeah.
So it, we have the firepower. We got Jet Zero. Sometimes he takes a little while to get hot. Sometimes he's hot off the gate, and we stick to the running game the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, but honestly, I think we have a championship caliber team. It's been a playoff runs, a couple past seasons for them. Before I signed, I did have a couple other teams interested in my services, and one of the big things that really led me to Queen City was, their history, their passion for the team. During my free agency interviews, they were really keen on involving me, whether it was at the reaver-back position that I'm currently playing in, or if they wanted me at free safety too, or they were very flexible with any, not desires, but any little things that I would like just to get me to Queen City, which other teams were just like, you got this position, and if it's not available, then I'm gonna have to move you down the depth chart. So I really took the liking to that, and I definitely think that we are in a not bad position, but we definitely have a lot of time to get back to that 500. And once we're at that 500, then it's usually back to ground zero. And with enough time, which there is enough time, we can make it back and make a playoff run, and hopefully, go even further.
Yeah, because you are, cornerstone team.
Yep.
Four-time champions, things like that. So, hey, you definitely have the potential to do that.
Yes, ma'am.
But overall, what do you think that the team has to do, or coaches should be focused on, in order to get back to that 500?
Okay, so I think the defense has been really just making its mark, and it's been very loud in the past couple games. The last game with the broadcast cams, defense really brought us back. There was a lot of opportunities where, if we wouldn't have stepped up in the secondary, the game would have been completely out of reach. But I think mainly some decision making. I'm not knocking down our QB1, obviously. Great man, great experience. It's just, it was a last interception, a lot of decisions with the maybe AI. I don't want to blame it on the AI. I hate doing it. It's a simulation league. That's what they're there for. But we had a lot of time management issues in that game, especially right before the first half, I think, ended. We had the ball with 40 seconds left. We had 3 timeouts. None of them were called. It's just little minor things that need to be, if not just adjusted, then we just got to work on some design plays. We got to get the ball off to Jet Zero when we need those couple yards. I know there was a play where we were on 4th and 1 last game, and we should have gone for it, but we decided to punt the ball. There was no reason to punt the ball. It's just these small decision-making skills where, like I said, if we went for it, we were in the red zone. It would have been the equivalent of if we didn't convert, it would have been a great punt. There would have been a really bad field position. We could have gotten the ball back. We ended up getting the ball back through a turnover. So it's just things like that, which they're very fixable. They're very tweakable. That'd be a better word. It's not that there's something to be fixed. It's just something that needs to be, adjusted a little bit. And I think, we'd be ready to go.
Awesome. Switching gears a little bit. So what are you thinking about? Have you taken the time out to watch Crunch Time yet?
Crunch Time? No, I really haven't. I'm not going to lie to you. I have not. But I've heard great things about it. If you want to break it down for me a little bit, I will definitely be checking out the next ones.
Okay.
Or, the past ones that have been. But
yeah, it's cool. It's just like watching Sports Center, to where you have different segments, different players, coaches, broadcasters are basically retelling what happened over the week in different ways. So, for instance, Mike St. Green had a cooking kind of segment, to where he was kind of like saying how certain teams were kind of having the necessary ingredients to make this nice gumbo and things like that. And then you got the word on the street, like things that are going on inside of the league and like things coming down the pipeline and all kind of things, different takes from different people, from Josh Circle to Chad Rowland doing interviews to Eddie Gage doing interviews. So it's been a whole bunch of different people doing a whole bunch of different things. So I think you'll like it. It's like a variety.
No, that sounds absolutely awesome. It's basically just another great way of, letting the fans and players engage with the community. Exactly. It's creative. It sounds something like I'd be interested in.
Yeah.
And I will definitely check it out for sure.
Yeah. Wednesdays, I believe at 8:00.
Gotcha. It's on YouTube, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not Twitch? Okay. Got it.
Yeah. YouTube. Wait. Yes, it is on YouTube. Just had to make sure. And I'll make sure I put that link in the description for everybody.
Awesome.
So, a couple fun questions before I put you on the hot seat, Jorge, because I can't let you go without doing that. So, what is your thoughts on, should esports be considered a sport?
Yeah, of course.
Why?
Well, because it's the words. I mean, the definition of a sport is so broad. It takes determination, it takes talent, it takes skill, it takes practice, it takes grinding, it takes teamwork. It's just there's a lot of elements, and just because you're not out there sweating and you're not out there, maybe risking some sort of physical injury or anything of the sort, it doesn't take away from the fact that you get the same passion that you would from watching actual sports or playing actual sports. A good example that I could use would be before I was integrated into the simulation community, I used to run big YouTube channels on trick shotting and Call of Duty and all that kind of stuff. And I used to own multiple teams, and it did have the aspect that I would feel, when I was, we're just playing in actual leagues, my local services, the YMCA, whatever. It felt like there was a certain element of responsibility as not only an owner, but I have been a player for other teams. I've watched players. I've been a spectator. I've been, I follow the Optic Texas team for COD, the Major League COD, or the COD league that they have here. And that's my team. So, I mean, I could say it's a sport. I mean, I would get a jersey. I would, go to an event. I don't think I could put any more emphasis on, the only main difference that I really see is, I guess, salary. And other than that would be, like I said, the physical aspect and the physical strain. And other than that, like chess, is it a hobby? Is it a sport? It's a gray line, but there's no teams in chess. It's mostly an individual game, which I'm not saying. There's sports that are individual as well, but when it comes down to it, the COD analogy that I use would be like, you have to work with your team. You have to build a chemistry. You have to practice every day. There's practices that go on for hours. There's coaches. There's everything. There's every element that you would find in a football field, and you would find it on a Call of Duty professional team.
Okay. Interesting concept. And I've been getting different answers for that. And, I can kind of see it both ways now, listening to everybody. But tell me, what is one sport that is considered a sport that should not be?
Okay, this answer will be fully opinion-based because I don't want to knock on anything. But as I said, anything that I will say is going to be derived from what I just said about esports.
Okay.
It's very easy, like you said. It's an opinionated answer. Excuse me. To say if it's not, if it is a sport. I don't know. Maybe something that I guess a lot of people would consider a hobby, but like I said, a lot of people consider gaming a hobby. Mm-hmm. Maybe, gosh, that's a really good question, Ash. I don't know, badminton, something that's like maybe a sub level to a very competitive sport like tennis, I guess. Right. That's one way I would look at it. There's a Wembley Cup for a reason. There's not a badminton cup that I know of. Maybe there is, maybe there's not. I don't know. A very popular answer would be golf as well, but I consider golf a sport. Like I'm not a golfer, but I know how difficult it is to golf, and I do consider it a sport 100% for sure.
I mean, I tried it one time. That ball went only 25 feet. Do you hear me? I was done.
Yeah, no, it's very 50-50 for me. I'm either having a good game or like the ball is going, left, right, completely away from where it's supposed to go.
Oh yeah, but listen, when I'm playing like on the Oculus, playing some Top Golf from there, okay, I'm hitting this 400 feet. It's real life, nah. But
yeah.
hey, I think that's the beauty of esports, right? So what you lack in actual talent or ability physically, for real sports, you just go play. Like I can go out here and be a quarterback and throw a game-winning touchdown because actually not going to do that in real life. So,
you never know. You could. You don't know that. You can throw a touchdown. You can go through a little.
Oh yeah, I can throw a touchdown, but I'm not trying to get hit like that. You see how many times I get sacked? Nah, bro, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that.
Well, y'all got a lot of offensive linemen to choose from this upcoming class. So.
True. We already have 3. So hopefully we can get a couple more and I'll be nice and secure. Because I got to watch out for teams like you, All right.
I have a question for you actually real quick before we go on a hot seat. Okay, so do you consider the simulation or just any simulation league or part of the esport community? Because I would say it's the way I look at it is I put like simulation leagues, simulation sports in a completely different category. I would say it's more community orientated. It's not so much as like a maybe role play type of aspect to the game, but I would say there's more passion. I feel like, or there's more excitement than like a regular esports league, like Rocket League, for example, or any other video game. That were like you're actually playing the game. But I guess that's where the motto comes, from couch to field. But for me, I personally like simulation way more than esports. I mean, like I said, I am an Optic fan. I love esports. I love any kind of video game that's considered, that has broadcasting, that has, an audience, like the SFL like us. We have conventions, stuff like that, where it grows a huge community. I'm 100% a fan of that. But I would put simulation leagues in a very niche side on its own. How do you feel about that, or the whole definition of the word esports? I would say, how do you view that?
So electronic sports basically is what this is. I think anything that has a fan base could be considered a sport. So in actuality, I could watch Apex, I can watch Call of Duty. They have their fan bases. I can watch Fortnite, people streaming for all of that, It is a difference in watching those types of gamers versus a sports simulation. Definitely a difference. It's almost like when you're in esports, you are that, you assume that avatar, right? When you're playing Call of Duty, you don't necessarily look at that as your particular player. You're just playing,
exactly.
You're just peeking around corners, trying not to get shot, But when you're invested, like we are on the field, when this is your quarterback or this is your free safety, and you're keeping your eye on them and you watch them, even if you're doing like wrestling, right? Because I'm a wrestler too. So I watch my girl, she go out there doing the high flying acrobatics, knocking people out. But then if she takes that L, I'm going to be watching to see why she took it and see how I can improve. Just like with any sport, you go out here and play basketball or something like that, you're not hitting your threes, something that it's something about
you kind of take personal.
Right, exactly. So it is different, even though it's similar, but I think that there are definitely those differences that stand out, where esports particularly is its own thing, and I think the gaming community is its own thing.
See, and the reason I asked you that was because of your question. I didn't know if you included the, SFL, other leagues like RFL, whatever, into that mold. Because I mean, that is what I would personally consider more even of esports, because like you said, we're all at the same time, unlike, like you said, watching Apex or playing or just watching a COD streamer. You are a spectator, but when you're in the SFL, you're more than a spectator.
Yes.
You also have that, you're watching the game and you're watching yourself as well from a third person perspective, which is, like you're saying, you don't know what's going to happen. You can make a great play, you can't. Whereas when you play COD or a shooter or even Minecraft, stuff like that, you're in control of the game yourself, which is, it's not as exciting as, you get to get your popcorn, if you have friends that are in the league, invite them over. And it's like watching an actual game. Right. And there's just this great, just serotonin, that you get from just, if your player does something great, like I was mentioning off camera, on my rookie season, and I got nominated for Diva of the Week. And it was like, oh, well, that's amazing. It's like I'm my player with my build, with the instructions I'm following from my coach is achieving such and such stats. And it's way more rewarding than, yourself going and unlocking, a certain skin or different camos on your gun or stuff like that. It's a whole nother thing. And that's why I'm so indulged in it. And that's why I love it.
Indeed. And perhaps through our conversation, maybe we brought some clarity to other people that were kind of questioning that too,
Yeah.
Dope. See, that's why I like talking to you. You always, you ask some good questions.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But you have graduated to the hot seat. So I will be asking you some rapid fire questions that I would like for you to just answer off the top of your head. So far, people have been kind of stopping to think about it, which I understand. There are certain things you probably will have to. But, just try to answer as quickly and as honestly as possible. And again, disclaimer, guys, this is his opinion. Don't be DMing him talking about why you said about me or my team. It's all fun and games, okay?
So this is like rapid fire, like shooting.
Yeah.
We're just going, okay, let's go.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Who's the funniest person on Queen City?
Nate Diggs.
Okay. Who is the most serious person on Queen City?
Coach? No, not coach. God, I feel really bad for forgetting one of my teammates' name, but I think it's our left end. Just completely gets really mad at decisions that are made or just plays and just rants days after the game on just minuscule little things. So for sure, I will make sure to send you his name so you can put all this these people that I'm forgetting on the description, because I do not want them not noticed and whatnot. So
absolutely, I'll flash his name right across the screen. So
yes.
Gotcha. So who is the most improved player on Queen City for offense?
Jet Zero. Jet Zero is been consistent, and the word consistent would mean for me, stagnant. But I think more carries and better situations, he is definitely the most improved player, just because the potential that he still has and just how he's growing. So, it's great to play alongside him, even though I'm on the other side of the ball. I get a relief when, he's on, on that I formation. So.
Gotcha. Best improved defensive member of your squad?
Nate Diggs. He had a lot of really impressive plays in that last broadcast. A lot of touchdown saving tackles. He had, a couple deflections in the red zone or in the end zone. Cam was calling him out. I was really surprised. Not saying he's not a good player, but I'm saying that he's to play alongside the defensive side. I think me and him have built the chemistry together. So I'm just giving him his props where it's due.
Gotcha. To name one offensive player and one defensive player on Queen City that needs work.
Okay, Jorge Torres on defense. Myself, need some work. On the offensive side of the ball, you see, you got me thinking about this now. It's not rapid fire. I'm trying to not put people out on blast.
It's not about. It's nothing wrong. Hell, I need work. I need to stop throwing the ball to everybody else.
I'm gonna say QB1. Listen, some decisions have been made that were questionable. The interception on that last drive, we could have kept cutting through the slants. The slants were open that whole game. I was calling them on the broadcast. I was predicting these plays. I was seeing these just bubble screens, and I think he's got the arm talent. We got the accuracy. It's just like decision making. It comes down to decision making. He's a great player. He's got great animations. There was this really good play that it looked like Aaron Rodgers was playing on the SFL. So QB1. No knock on that guy. He's my QB1. If you would have asked me the same question when I was at Tulsa, I would have said JQ. Same reason, just because it's the quarterback's a position where you could always be improving, and it's one of the longer lasting positions on offense that you can be on. So you only got room for improvement.
AJ Caswell. All right, gotcha. So who is the? Go ahead.
Just saying, but okay. Caswell played really well against us last year because he beat us. And him and Jet Zero together, when they're on fire, they're on fire. And if Caswell's not on fire, then I can rely on Jet Zero. So that's why I said Jet Zero is the most improved player, because when Caswell's not stepping up, then we got, our second horse ready to go. And that's something that, I would like to see both of them on par so we can have a dual threat offense. We can run the ball when we want to, we can pass the ball when we want to, and keep the defense guessing. But for now, I would definitely solidify the run game a lot more for Queen City. Not knocking Caswell, but just as of now, as from what we've seen, to improve and to get to that 500, I would say that's how I would put it if I was coach.
Okay. Most active person in your locker room?
Coach or I'm pretty active. I'm not the most active, but I try to be as active as I can be. I forget you just did Crow's Nest with who?
Andre Krim.
Yeah. Okay. So going back to that. Okay. So it was Mr. Krim who gets very upset at the decisions that are made for following games, and he's very passionate about it, which is what I love about that locker room. There's a lot of passionate players. But yeah. I would say Crumb.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He wanted me to be co-host of Crow's Nest. I just, had a lot of things going on recently that's taken up a lot of time positively in my life. So I couldn't, but next season you might see me on there. I might bring back my own podcast too when I have the chance. So that's something that I'm working on and building, hopefully. I was trying to solidify a brand, but now I think I really want to stay with Queen City, and maybe I could, stick there and shamelessly plug that I'm going to bring back my podcast and maybe be on Crow's Nest next season.
All right.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Looking forward to that, actually, because I enjoyed being on there.
Thank you.
Top performing rookie.
I think we got no, we did not get a free safety this year.
It doesn't have to be on your team either.
Oh, okay. I was thinking of CJ Brown, but he was not a rookie. He's not a rookie. He's a couple.
Douglas Brown?
I think, was he QB for Memphis? For SFL?
No, you're talking about, you mean Johnny Reno?
Yes. Yeah. I think so. To be honest with you, AJ, I don't keep up with the rookies as much. I really do follow my class. I want to do shout out a couple kids from my class. Mr. Swift, fellow cornerback who played for the Adams with me and won in Albuquerque. Is it Jaden Swift? It's something with a J. He plays.
So it'll be Jaden.
Yeah, Jaden Swift. Absolute monster of a dude. I see him showing support for me. And when I play for Queen City, I see him in the chat, shouting me out. So for him to still have that connection with me from the SFL, I think it's awesome. So he deserves a shout out. I'm going to elaborate on that as well as in not only rookie, but just overall players that I think that have been really good this season. I think Jason France, we going back to Tulsa roots, always a great player. Great locker room guy. Tulsa's got a great spirit in there. Really miss him. Most improved overall that I've seen has been JQ from his rookie year at Tulsa once again. A lot of interceptions, a lot of bad decision making, but a cannon of an arm. And I think this year, he has improved. I think it's his third year now with me. So a junior in the league, more experienced. So he's the franchise guy, I think, there. And I think he's going to be over at Tulsa for a long, long time, hopefully. And I wish all of them well. Yeah.
Gotcha. Who is the best receiver that's not on your team?
Jacob McCall.
Okay. Best running back.
Sure. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Okay, Jacob McCall and Gabriel Manning. I mean, it's like Megatron and Jamar Chase. Okay, they're I like Jacob. I love Gabriel. I mean, like his punt returns and his kick returns were absolutely insane to watch. And it was about a 50-50 coin flip chance of him taking it back to the house. Running backs. Let's see. There's a lot of good running backs in this league. I know like a lot of teams are very run heavy. See, if you would have asked me this question when I was in Tulsa, I would have said Jet Zero. Because he's a monster. He destroyed us when we played against him. He's an absolute beast. Who's notoriously for the running game? I think the Dragons running back is pretty good.
Kevin Fay? Absolutely.
I know he's been putting up numbers. I didn't remember the name, but yeah, Kevin has been a monster for the Dragons. And they're in pretty good form too right now, just considering that they're the newest franchise, right?
They have been around for, I think this is their second season. So
second season.
For them to be where they are right now has been absolutely amazing. Yeah. What SFL defense is the best one right now?
I mean, the Vultures defense is really hard to play against. Out of all the games that I've watched, they were really good. They forced a lot of turnovers. Houston Hyenas has got a pretty good defense as well. I like the corners on them. I've watched a lot of film on them. Just another honorable mention. I like the Knights defense as well. Might not be the top performing, but I like the way they play. They do a little bit of the position switching as well. They were one of the teams that I spoke to during free agency, and they offered a lot of mobility. So I can see that they have very good defensive coordinators over there. Okay. But right now, I'd say the Vultures. They won a Super Bowl for a reason, the SFL championship game. But defense wins championships, and that just solidifies that. So
indeed. Who has the best offense right now?
The Vultures are undefeated. I mean, Vultures got the best defense, got the best offense. I mean, it has to be an undefeated team. You got to go half and half.
Indeed. So, what team is overrated right now?
Overrated. I don't know. I mean, the Dragons are a good team. They're not, in my eyes, overrated, but I think they're not. It's also not that they're getting too much credit for what they're doing, but I think that there's bound to be a little slippery slope in there, like you said, for them to be doing this good in their second year. After obviously not even having a rebuild, but just start from the ground up. It's a team to watch out for. It's a team that has a better record than us. It's a team that is doing very good right now. But if you put us and them, I think, with our offense and our defense and the progressions that we've been doing, we've been getting, I think, 100% progression every single week since week one. I mean, as a player for Queen City, I'm going to say we could beat them. I think we could beat them. And so I guess I would say that's an overrated team. When it was the Vultures that we were playing, we were kind of a little bit nervous. It was a tough game, but on paper, obviously, it was them that were going to win. So I would say the Dragons, just for the sake of saying a team.
Okay. What about the most?
I don't think any team's overrated, but just for the sake.
Okay. What about most underrated?
I think us. I think Queen City. I think the fact that we have won 4 championships and our 2 games under 500 just puts a lot of, kind of like an asterisk between the rest of our season and the rest of our future, which it's just a chip on our shoulder for the whole staff and all the players and everyone. So, I mean, it's fuel to the fire. We need it. We need that gas. We got to get that machine churning again. And who doesn't love an underdog after losing consistent games and there's just nowhere else to go but up. I think we're a very underrated team, and we do have every single tool to make the championship game, to surpass the record that we have. It's just we've had an unfortunate season, so it's going to pick up 100%.
Okay. Last question: who will be the season 18 championship winners?
I think it's between the Vultures. I think it's between the Vultures, once again, going back to back. We have a shot at it. I know 100%. I know, once we get to that 500 mark, it's going to be, wheels going to turn around. We're getting back on that bus. I think we can get that 5th championship. And just for the sake of saying overrated, again, I'm going to throw the Dragons in there because it would be cool, in their 3rd year to get the championship. Maybe just to have another team that's not 3 that I've been repeating. Maybe Las Vegas or San Diego, I think could be sleepers. It would be cool. They're underdogs. The Mavericks are a team that I was really hoping to go for or land in the first draft when I was drafted. So it'd be cool to see another team succeed. I think the Aztecs are pretty good.
Jorge,
I think they could take it.
Jorge, one team. You didn't name 5.
I mean, there's a lot of good teams. They could all take it. Okay, one team, the Vultures. And I'm going to give you a runner-up. Queen City. That's okay. It. The Vultures and Queen City.
So you said that's going to be the championship. The Vultures and Queen City. And then
or the Scorpions. Or if it's unincluding my team for bias, I would say the Vultures or the Scorpions, because you guys have a good team. I love Eddie Gage's defensive mindset. I've said it on the podcast before. Y'all do have a great defense. I should have mentioned y'all when you asked that question. But out of pure bitterness of not drafting me, for sure that's why I didn't throw it in. But I'm just messing with you. But y'all have a great solid team. And then the who you got, you guys are definitely winning that one, as I just recently checked, by about 50. So
listen,
y'all are up there.
Listen, who you got could be wrong any given sim day. My thing is it's about who has the best game plan at the end of the day, and make sure that things that are not supposed to be in the playbook are not in the playbook.
Yep.
So you want me to lose it. Yeah. But you flamed the hot seat, and I really appreciate it. It was funny because you just named about 5 or 6 different teams. I'm like, okay, bro, you can't have 5 or 6.
I have to give credit where it's due. I mean, it's my first time on the hot seat. You got to give me some slack.
Yeah, that's true. I will. It was cute though. It was cute. You tried it. All right, man. Jorge, it was fun catching up with you, brother. You're definitely welcome to come back on whenever you want to. I will be starting up those mental health podcasts again, probably towards the end of the season, when everything kind of slows down, things like that.
Yeah.
And kind of revisit those topics, because we do have some more individuals that like to be on for those segments. So I think it'd be interesting for us to be able to talk to them as well. So
sure. Yeah.
All right. Did you have anything else you want to say to the people? Your last words? It could be a song, a poem, or a simple shout out to anybody.
Just shout out to the boys over at Queen City, the guys that took a chance on me at Tulsa, you always have love for them. There's no bad blood anywhere. This community is amazing. I urge anyone that's watching this video and, they're not involved to get involved. We all have open arms here, and it's there's great people like Ashley, like Cam, like just it's an absolutely awesome community. So just hop on board. We'll take y'all in. Queen City needs some more beasts, so just hit me up. I mean, I'll put in a good word for y'all. Who doesn't want to play for a 4-time championship team? Might as well be the Patriots at this point. But
okay, don't say that. Don't say that.
Hey, listen, the logo is eerily familiar. So I'm like, you could literally reverse the logo and change a couple colors, but hey,
It really is management.
No, it is. 6 championships.
Oh, wait, say it again. You're muted.
Oh, no, I was just about to say 2 more championships and we basically would be the Patriots at that point. And then Caswell could be Tom Brady and I could just be eating my words. But, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Indeed, we'll see. Well, Jorge, thank you so much. And I'm looking forward to talking to you again too, brother, okay?
Sure thing. Good luck tomorrow.
Good luck to you too. Have a good one. But not too much luck.
No. We'll see. We'll see. I think I used up my bad luck last game, so I'm probably going to get a couple picks or 2 on you this game.
Why does everybody
Have I gotten a pick on you before? Because I think I've been on this show multiple times, and I've just bothered you with that. So I'm trying to see if you can jog your memory. I'm not asking for any solidified questions. But
you may have. You actually, I believe you did.
I think I did. I think I rubbed it a little bit on your face. I might be adding some salt to the wound right now, but it's cool. It's fine.
You and Isaiah King, y'all just, boy, I'll be giving y'all
snatchy.
Y'all try. Y'all try.
We'll see. It was awesome. Thank you for having me.
Anytime. And I'll see you tomorrow. We'll see what y'all gonna do. All
right. We'll see. We got a game plan. We'll execute.
I'll talk to you later.
All righty.
All right. Bye. All right, everyone. We are back with my 4th and goal interview and my wonderful rookie guests. I actually have a couple of them on, and apparently these 2 are SFL besties. So my first guest is Mr. K.J. Alexario. How do you pronounce it?
It's Aleixo.
Aleixo.
No, Aleixo.
Aleixo?
There you go.
Aleixo.
You got it. Uh-huh.
Okay, what language?
It's Portuguese.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and people get really confused when they see the X. They don't know what to do with it. They're like, what do I do with the X? Most people put the I. They switch the letters in my name to make sense to them. They put the I after the X, but it's before, and they're like, I have no idea what to do with that. I've been getting that my whole life. So, it's Aleixo.
Aleixo.
You got it.
All right. Well, Mr. Aleixo, I'm just letting you know, broadcasters are gonna have fun with this. Just saying.
Oh, I don't doubt it. I'm sure I've got one of the tougher last names in the SFL.
It's simple, but it's,
Yeah, it's because so if this was English, the letters in this order just don't make any type of sense, No. And that's what's throwing people off, which I get. But no, it's Aleixo. So
I welcome you, KJ.
Thank you.
Welcome you to the show, man. I am so glad that you're here. Normally I do my rookie interviews towards the end of the season, things like that. But I like this. I like that you and Adam reached out to me and said that, hey, I just want to get my name out there. I want to, be on the show and, just kind of get my story out there. That means a lot. So let's do that.
Thank you. Thank you for having both of us. Actually, he is kind of the reason why I reached out to speak to you, was because when he said he was coming on the show, I thought to myself, her ratings are about to go down, right? Simply because Adam's on the show. You know, people are going to be dropping off, unsubscribing. I like Ashley. I like what she does. I need to save this. So I was like, Ashley, look, you need to get me on to kind of counteract whatever Adam starts talking about, just because he's yeah. So that's what I'm here to do. I put my cape on. And I'm outside. I put my cape on and I come outside, right? So here I am. I'm kidding, Adam. Love you, buddy.
I appreciate that. I should have had both y'all on together then if I knew it was things like that. Listen, tell us a little bit about yourself. So give me your age, your hometown, interesting fact about yourself, and then your favorite NFL team.
Okay. My age, I am 33 years old. My hometown, I'm originally from Tacoma, Washington. However, I currently live in Indianapolis, Indiana. A couple of interesting facts about myself. I am a professional race car driver by trade. I currently drive the test driver, simulator driver, and the development driver right now for a small IndyCar team. That's why I live here in Indianapolis. Other than that, I am a 2-time author, working on my 3rd book now. My girlfriend's sister was the Pink Ranger on Power Rangers Operation Overdrive. I guess that people always find that pretty interesting.
Wow.
And I am a Iraq War veteran as well, so I think that's pretty interesting too.
Wow. What? You definitely blew my mind with a lot of that. Wow. Thank you for your service.
You're very welcome.
Thank her for her service being the Pink Ranger.
Right.
She was, I always loved the pink one.
Yeah, she was fighting the bad guy. She was, So that's been pretty fun. And
you drive cars, like you really race cars.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. That's Indianapolis wasn't on my list of places to ever move to. It wasn't on my radar. So yeah, it's literally the only reason I'm here in Indy is for this opportunity and just looking to make the most of it. And yeah, really love my team. Really love the guys that I'm with, and we're just looking forward to doing our very best every day, and hopefully in the end that turns into something pretty incredible. A win here and there would be fantastic, and I love what I'm able to do to help us get that. So as the test and development driver, I essentially have to match what our main driver does. So whatever laps he's turning, I need to be able to turn the exact same types of laps. I need to really adapt my driving style to how he drives. That's how we grab the data. So my job is basically to save the team a ton of time, and we've got some pretty high-powered simulation tools that we use to do that. And that's my job. If he's braking in a place where I typically don't brake, I have to learn to brake where he brakes. That's how we grab the data. It's fuel consumption, aero adjustments, all these types of things. I have to essentially be his twin, just on the data side of things, and that's how we produce those numbers. And hopefully, those numbers then translate into us and the engineers coming up with the correct scenarios, and those scenarios will help us out on race day. So, and then the eventual goal is once our main driver moves on to another opportunity, then it's my turn. So then I get to do all the racing and not just the test and development stuff behind his car. So
that is absolutely amazing. Like, did you want to do this when you were younger? Like, did you play any sports like when you were younger, or did you just kind of happen to just veer into race car?
No, I started out playing just about every sport, really. My mom had me just super involved. Single mom, so she just kind of like shoved me into everything, because I guess it helped her out, right? Like, okay, he's busy doing this. So played baseball, football, basketball, hockey, all of it as a kid. I didn't really get into racing until I was in my teens. And if you ever wanted the extended story, my autobiography is for sale on Amazon, Walmart.com, Books A Million, Kodo, Walmart.com, and other fine retailers. But no, this whole thing started out when I got to high school. I had a buddy introduce me to a thing called autocross, which is basically it's like a large airfield or a big parking lot, and they set cones out. And it's one car at a time, and whoever gets through the cones the fastest is the winner. It's all based on time. It's just you by yourself against the clock, and against these orange cones. What I liked about it was that it was cheap to get into. Whatever car you had was allowed to compete, and they would put you into categories with cars that were just as slow or as fast as yours. You know, so you weren't in a Volkswagen Beetle like I was in high school, going up against somebody's like Porsche GT3. You know what I mean? That would have been an absolute blowout. So they would put you in a class with the other slow cars, you know, and it became you against them, and the fast guys go over there with those guys, and that's kind of what started my love for the sport. And eventually that grew. I was like, I don't want to do this against cones anymore. I want to do this on a track with other competitors. And then that just kind of snowballed into a big thing. It became the rabbit hole. I went down the rabbit hole, like, okay, how do I do this? And, you know, quickly learning that motorsport is the most expensive sport other than horse racing, you know, which makes sense looking back on it, right? Commercial vehicles cost, you know, on their own, right? So imagine what race prepared cars are going to cost. So it's just
crazy,
super expensive, stupid expensive, and just the licensing itself, you know, you're looking at about $20,000 just to get into the licensing of it, you know, for you to be certified to be able to do it. So it's a lot of money, a lot of financial commitment to come up with that. And I don't come from a wealthy background or anything like that. So it's been a journey, just being creative, being resilient, being just a fortified human being, and pushing forward no matter the obstacles, no matter what was against me to get here. I've put just so much into just getting here. I've moved whenever an opportunity has popped up. I didn't think twice about it. You know, just bouncing around. I was in Georgia for a bit. I was in New York for a bit. I was in Florida for a bit. California, wherever the opportunity came, I'm going, you know, which is, you know, something that's, I guess, challenging when you try to explain that to family. Oh, you're leaving again? Yes, I am. And they don't get that. Well, why would you do that? You know, there's no guarantee. Well, this is life. There are no guarantees in life. You just gotta do it. You know, I don't want to be 80 years old thinking about what I could have, should have done that and all that stuff. So opportunity came here in Indianapolis, which is the racing capital of America. I absolutely love this city. It's so racing focused. I can't go to the grocery store without seeing something racing related. Like, the city is obsessed with racing. They're obsessed with the Indy 500, and I am here for. I 100% love it. I can't go anywhere without seeing it. So the dream's all around me. The Indianapolis Motor Speedway, where the Indy 500 happens, is about 6 minutes from my house, so it's like right there. I can look out my back window and see it, and it's just like the dream. It's just right there. So I'm super happy to be here doing this.
Oh my God, amazing. That is a wonderful story. I am glad that you found your dream and you went for it, and now you're doing something that you love to do, you know.
Oh yeah.
But I'll tell you what I will do is I'm going to
What is that?
Sit right here and play on my Gran Turismo, my Need for Speed, and I'm much safer that way.
Well, I remember Need for Speed. Those were classics, though. Need for Speed, classics.
Listen, I'm still trying to run from the cops. But look, man, that's actually wonderful, and maybe I can have you on one of my other podcasts that I do, you know, for like just esports gaming, and talk about different things of that nature, if you choose to go in more detail about that. But wonderful stuff.
I absolutely would. Thank you.
You're welcome. So how did you find SFL? Of all places, how did you find us?
Well, so aside from what I do with my team, I also am the U.S. events coordinator for a company called World Pro Racing, and they do esports. It's e-racing. But it's a little different from the SFL in that, drivers are actually controlling the input. So you're actually turning the wheel, you're actually braking, you're actually hitting, the gas and things like that. But the mission over there, what we kind of do is we try to bring the world of professional racing to those who are only able to do it through simulation. And so we try to put on a very high quality show to where you feel it's really real. We've got FIA stewards who kind of judge everything. I'm not sure if you know what the FIA is, but it's the world governing body over World Championship racing, really. So they're the ones who come up with all the rules. They're the ones who give out the penalties. They're the ones who say, that's not legal, this is legal. We have actual FIA stewards from that organization here in World Pro Racing. So they're getting a very professional environment. We've got broadcasts on cable networks, Sky Sports, ESPN, ESTV, and I was thinking to myself, I wonder if somebody's doing anything similar to this, but with other sports, and I started with football just because that's my second favorite sport after auto racing. So I typed it in and Google, it popped right up, and I was like, what is this? I clicked on it and I start watching on YouTube, and I thought to myself, it was very similar to what we had going on with World Pro Racing, like with the commentators, with the professional broadcast, with just the presentation of it all, and giving that professional environment. I thought, okay, this is something I might be interested in. And as I got to looking more into it, I found out that I could actually create a player. And I thought, you know what? I used to play football back in the day. I love the game. It's a great game. And let me go ahead and do it. So I joined, and probably about a day later is when I met Adam, and he hasn't shut up since. So yeah, that's where we're at.
Oh man, that's great. And it's fun to meet other content creators, other people that are diving into the esports realm, because you have people that want to have that experience, but can't for whatever reason. Like Ashley is not getting ready to go and play for the Atlanta Falcons or for the Chicago Bears as their quarterback. I'm not getting ready to take those hits. This is too precious. Too precious. But when I see my girl on the field out there scrambling for her life, trying to get away from the package, I like that. You're invested, and that's what I like that. And absolutely, it's awesome.
I was very surprised. We had our first preseason game not too long ago, and me and a couple of the guys got together on Discord, and we all watched it together. And you'd be really surprised how invested you are in your character, and you just want them to do well. You just want them to contribute, and you're getting I don't know, it's like this dual experience actually, because it's almost like watching an NFL game with your team, and there's a distance there, right? Like I'm a Seahawks fan, so if I watch somebody, we're not. It's too soon, Ashley. Let's not.
That's why you just went straight past that. Okay.
I really did know, because I was like, it is too soon. I'm not in an emotional space where I can talk about it openly. I'm not there yet. But being a Seahawks fan, sometimes, because Russell's not perfect, something would happen, and he'd mess up. You'd end up yelling at the screen, right? Like, yes. Oh, come on, Russ, do this. It's kind of like that, but not, because it's actually you that you're yelling at. Like, it's you, this virtual version of you that you're yelling at. I'm like, come on, man, make the play, right? You got to make that play. And so, super interesting though, but very, very fun, very, very cool. And the guys on my team, shout out to the San Jose flight. They just make it so much fun. They're a great group to be a part of. I'm actually probably going to be a little sad when I get drafted, because we are so lit at the San Jose flight. Like it's we're all the way turned all the time, and I love it. I love those guys.
And that's good. That was going to be my next question.
Yeah.
What is the locker room over there like, and what does it feel like just, mingling with just new people that if you haven't found this place, you may not have ever met?
Right. That's a great point. The SFL has been just that. It's been an opportunity to connect with those I didn't know existed. Which there's 8 billion people on planet Earth, right? Every last one of us, even if you were somebody who knew this extraordinary amount of people, it still equates to 0.0000001% of who is on the planet, right? Even if you were somebody who was ridiculously popular, you know everybody. You don't know everybody. That is only 0.000000001% of the people on planet Earth. So I really thought this was a great opportunity to connect with those guys. And Yogi doing the progressions, he was super helpful from day one. Just Coach Vandelay, also super helpful. I like that the atmosphere is it's mature, but it's silly at the same time. Like, and I love that. It's almost like we know when it's time to be serious, and we also know when it's time to joke around, and we make room for it all. There's a good balance between everybody. We help each other out. If somebody disappears on the Discord for a few days, we'll check in, like, hey man, you good over there? Like, haven't heard from you in a little bit. I definitely love that, and just a good culture to be a part of. Adam's got some cool stuff going on too, and I got to talking to him about just his personal life, what he does outside of the SFL, and I was like, whoa, okay, man, all right, I like it. So we've connected, and I'm just thankful. I'm thankful for it. Expanding my world a little bit. So
Indeed.
Yeah, and nobody's in my world. That's the cool thing too, right? Like, all these people do something else that I don't do, and I'm always pretty curious, like, about other people's stuff. Like, I see stuff in stores sometimes, and I don't know. I like these little backstories start running through my mind as I'm looking at this can of peas, because I think, somebody made this can. And I have no idea what that's like. I have no idea what it's like to be the can guy, I have no idea what it's like to be the driver who drove it here to the grocery store. I have no idea what it's like to be any of these people, but it's all very, very fascinating, And so we have those conversations all the time. Like, oh, what do you guys like? What's that even like, man? I just want an insight into all of that, because I know what my life is like already. I don't need to know any more about what my life is like. I want to hear what you guys' life is like, because that's new to me. That's pretty cool.
And I like that mentality, because that means that you aren't limited. That means that you have a great sense of what's going on around you, because you choose to get to know people. You choose to open yourself up and understand, why that packaging was made like that, right, why this occurred, or just it. I like that, because it just shows that you have a real interest in things that are not just the top, the top layer. You want to know everything about it, so that's pretty good. Hold on one second, Kristian. I need to turn down this water. Hold on one second.
No, go for it.
Pause.
Okay.
So why did you choose the cornerback position particularly? Was it something that you played in high school? Was it because you loved defense, or was that because that was the only position that was available?
I initially wanted to be a wide receiver. That's what I played in high school. And when I saw that there was no position available, I thought, okay, I'll just be a receiver, but in reverse. I'll be a corner. Now, I was thinking that by being a corner, I was thinking it was kind of like how real life works, right? How the same skill set kind of applies, and that happens in real life all the time. People move from corner to wide receiver or wide receiver to corner because it's the same kind of skill set, just the opposite, right? So I thought I can become a cornerback, and then I can make the switch over to wide receiver at a later point in time. Now, I found out that somebody schooled me and was like, hey, actually, they used to do that where you could transfer over and you wouldn't lose so many progression points, but now, not the case. And so at that point, I had some decisions to make, right? But either way, it didn't affect what I was doing this season because I had already committed at that point to being the corner for the San Jose flight. And I thought to myself, you know what, even if I do at another, point in time decide to make a switch or to create a new character or whatever it is, it's not going to affect what I'm doing this season. I'm going to play my heart out this season at corner. I'm going to be the best corner that we have. I'm going to be hopefully defensive rookie of the year SFLM candidate by the end of this, and I'm gonna do what I do. I do love the defensive aspect of the game. I love all facets of the game. So it wasn't like oh no, this is the worst thing ever. I don't look at things like that. I always look at it as whatever it is we're doing, then let's do it. Let's do that. So
an opportunity.
That's all it is. That's all it is. So hoping to help out over here, and not sure if at some point I want to switch over. Who knows, right? I may really get into just shutting people down. I may just love it through the roof, and I never want to play another position again. I want to be a cornerback for the rest of my life. So that's also very, very possible. The more I get into it. So yeah, we'll see. But for this season, I'm out there, and I'm on the right side of the field. All coaches need to know that I'm on the right side of the field. You're going to want to take note of that because that's going to be the side of the field you don't want to throw to.
Ooh, okay.
I said it. I said it.
Okay. Can't wait to see you. Can't wait to see you on the match. That's that side all day. But no, you probably be lucky. I'm one of them quarterbacks that apparently loves giving gifts. Here, you get. You're
Oprah of the. Okay. You Oprah with the interceptions. All right. Okay.
Not as bad as I used to be. I'm getting better.
That's good progress.
But bro,
it's bad. Like
sometimes it at the most inopportune times. But okay. But either way, it's gonna be fun seeing you out there. But that does lead me to the question of if you are drafted at cornerback,
right?
Would you want to stay with that team that drafts you at cornerback? Or would you be open to, let's say, if a team wanted to draft you for another position, like free safety or something like that? Would you be open to changing up that way?
I am open. I'm definitely open. I'm not somebody who. I think there are things in life where you really have to put your foot down, and then there are other things in life where we can all afford to be a little more open, a little more flexible. This is definitely something where I think is one of those times I can be a little more flexible because it's not about me per se. It's about the team. It's about what I can do to make us better and what we can all do to make each other better. If that means moving over a spot, if that means moving over there, switch to the other side of the field. We need you to move to here. We need you to move to there. I'm open to that. We can. Yeah, let's discuss what you need, and I'm going to try to be a problem solver. So, yeah, if you got a problem at free safety, you need me over there. Let's solve that problem. It's all good.
Okay. Another question too that may improve your draft stock would be, are you willing to explore different opportunities that the league has to offer, like in broadcasting or stats team, or perhaps do a little beat writing or maybe scouting? Or do you have time with your schedule the way you have it?
I'm starting to realize actually that I used to think life was about time management, but I'm starting to realize, at least for me anyway, I can't speak for other people, but for myself, it's not actually about time management. My life is more about energy management. I can make time to do stuff, but if I don't have the energy to do it, what good was making the time. You know, I can block out this hour here for that, but if I'm, you know, if I have I'm in zombie mode, I have nothing left. Like I can't go do it. So for me, it's about managing that energy. But with that being said, especially with the role that I'm at now within my team in real life, in my actual job, we get these little pockets where I'm able to work on things in between. So, you know, I'll jump in to the rig and I'll do, you know, I'll turn a quick 200 laps. And after we're done with that, I hop back out. The engineer's got to go look over that data. And that can be lengthy. That can take a little bit of time. And I usually have, so I got a little pocket here of time and energy where I could put towards something. So I'm not opposed to doing something, you know, else that the team may need. I've written a couple of books now, so I think I'm a pretty decent writer. I'd be open to that. Broadcasting would be cool as well. Yeah. There's other things I'm open to do.
That'll be exciting. That'll be exciting to hear you. And you know, all of the information that you gave me as far as your autobiography, anything else that you want everyone to know, you can give me that information, and I can leave it in the description so they can contact you directly if they have any questions.
Oh, cool.
Anything
Cool.
like that, all right?
Oh, sweet. Appreciate that. Yeah, so I've got the autobiography, and I've got a children's book that I wrote as well with Robbie Unser. If you're not a racing fan, you probably don't know who Robbie Unser is, but the Unser family is, aside from the Andretti's, is probably the most famous racing family. I met Robbie through my driver coach, and we just got to talking. We really connected, and I reached out to him just kind of hoping and praying. I was like, hey man, I got this children's book where I want to teach kids about racing and how to move up, because I didn't necessarily have the kind of guidance I think that most people do when it comes to it. I had to just kind of learn it all on my own. And I often get questions all the time, like, where should my kid start, right? My kid's 5, where should he start? And I've answered that question so many times that I thought, you know what? I'm just going to write a book about it. And that way you'll know all the steps right there in this kid's book. It's really fun. It's bright. It's all the things kids want, right? It's and there's fast cars. So it's a really, really good read. And Robbie Unser's a part of it, which is really, really cool. He was the 1998 IndyCar Rookie of the Year. So he's accomplished some things, and I'm really happy to have him a part of
all right. Phenomenal. Y'all gotta pick up that book so you can.
I think so. I think you need one for every room in your house, actually.
Oh, okay.
So you should probably pick up like 7.
Wait,
8,
hold on. Okay, see, not everybody's living like you, Kristian.
See, but you're.
Okay. 7, 8 rooms.
I live in a studio apartment. No, I live in a studio apartment. Right. So no 7, 8 rooms here. No.
You can turn on. But yeah. So, but they're good. I'm hoping that, you know, people see this, you know, they get to know a little bit more about you and want to know more about you by purchasing those. You know, help you out too. You and your organization. So, a couple more questions for you, my dear.
Yeah.
What are your expectations from the team that will draft you?
My expectations. My expectations for the team are just basically honesty. You know, let's be real with each other. Let's be genuine. Let's be sincere. That's the kind of organization I would want to be a part of. You know, so don't be afraid to bounce, you know, whatever ideas off of me or anything. I'm open to it, and I want to be of value to you. So but I can't do that unless I know what the team's goals are. You have to tell me what you're trying to do, and like I said, I try to be the best problem solver I can be, but you have to tell me what it is the goal is. What's the target, you know? And it's literally all I do at work all day. They give me a target on the track. Hit this lap time, we need this amount of fuel consumption, we need this amount of, and that's literally my job, is to hit targets all day long, right? So I want to bring that same exact energy to whatever team I'm with, just be open with me, say what you need, and let's go from there. I hope to not be obviously I'm not in anybody else's locker room, so I can't really say, but right. I'm hoping that there are no toxic environments or anything like that in the SFL. So I do expect to not be in a toxic locker room. I expect to be around positive people who have a can-do attitude, and none of us are going to be perfect. That doesn't exist. Perfect doesn't exist. But at the same time, just because it doesn't exist doesn't mean it should stop you from trying, right? And we should be trying. That's what I expect. I expect a team who's a bunch of go-getters. We're going to go out and get it. If we lose a game, not a big deal. There's one next week, and let's just keep learning from our mistakes. Let's see what we're doing wrong. Let's analyze it. Let's pick it apart. Let's have conversations. Let's communicate. I'm all about the communication. Let's really get into it. Let's not pull punches. I think, this is what's wrong. I think that's what's wrong, and we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. And that's what I want. I want a team who's just wants to figure things out. And if the thing about life is if you do enough figuring out, in the end, you end up in a pretty good place. You just gotta keep figuring things out.
Never
so that's what I expect.
Never get stagnant. Never, you can have that contentment, but just don't get lost in it.
Right? Absolutely.
Yourself from other things. I had to learn that the hard way. Still learning.
Hey, we're all a work in progress, right?
Exactly.
We are all a work in progress.
So I understand the work ethics that you're going to be bringing to a team, but what kind of personality will you be bringing to someone's locker room if you are able to be drafted?
Well, as you can probably tell, Ashley, I don't like to talk. I'm a bit of a wallflower. Mm-hmm. I just want to sit in the corner and
I have to pull this information out of you.
Yeah, honestly, right. And I'm sorry I'm so difficult for you. I'm kidding, of course. What you're getting out of me is this. I like to joke. I like to start conversations. I think that's what everybody on the SFLM general chat kind of knows me for, is just starting conversations. I just like to ask random questions. What's your most unpopular opinion? And everybody starts going in with that, and we kind of talk about that a little bit. We had a great conversation yesterday about wrestling, which was great, and just but that's what I bring. I like to be the guy who starts conversations and just let's talk about things, because nobody's two experiences are exactly alike. No matter how much your life may look like it has in common, you are completely different people. And I just like to hear how we all got here. I like to hear how you got to be who you are today, and just good morale, And I like to joke a little bit with the competitors who were playing. I remember when we were leading up to the Ottawa game. Me and Adam Banks over there from the Cavalry, he's a receiver, and I just started messing with him, just trying to get in his head a little bit, but hopefully he knows I was joking. It was completely a joke. I was making a joke that because they're up there in Canada and there's a lot of snow, his team would be wearing Ugg boots with cleats on the bottom, right? Right, and I actually went and I photoshopped a picture of these Ugg boots with the cleats on the bottom, right? And I put the little Cavalry logo on the.
Kristian? Hello? All right. So this is a fun question that I have for you, because pretty much I'm pretty much finished with the interview, but okay. I'm curious to know, since you are a race car driver, basically, what is one sport that is considered a sport that shouldn't be? Now, this is a question that I ask on my show very often, and I've gotten a lot of different responses. My personal thing is always curling, the professional ice sweepers that you get with. Y'all just out there sweeping the ice. And I'm like, who? How did this even come about? I'm like, who? So I'm curious to know what it was. Like I've heard NASCAR, I've heard pickleball, I've heard a whole bunch of things.
Well, you know, I figured somebody would have said something about racing. Now, I am not a NASCAR fan. Obviously, I'm on the IndyCar side of things, and completely different car, you know, completely different everything. So, but I do remember a few years back, I was watching ESPN, and they were having a conversation about the greatest athletes of all time. Who are the greatest athletes? And I do remember Randall Cunningham decided to speak up. And somebody said, you got to mention Jimmy Johnson, right? Jimmy Johnson, 7-time NASCAR champion. 5 of those championships came in a row, right? And now, I'm not a NASCAR guy. However, I do respect what it takes to win 5 championships in a row in any sport, right? You got to be put on the Mount Rushmore of whatever that is if you've got that many. But Randall Cunningham was just like, no, we don't need to put Jimmy Johnson on that list because race car driving is not a sport, right? And I just remember thinking to myself, sit your non-Super Bowl winning self down, sir. Right? Like you what an ignorant thing to say, right? Like you don't know. It's because you don't know. You don't know. And I think that's the issue with race cars is that people think they have a reference point, and that reference point being whatever is in their driveway. They think that it's just like that, but faster, right? And I'm here to tell you, it is not. The only thing these things have in common is that there are 4 wheels and a steering wheel. Everything else is worlds different from what you're doing. Yeah, you know, right on the public roads, whatever. And it but to the untrained eye, to the naked eye, right? It just looks like a car, and it's like, but how wrong you are. And yes, I'm going to take this opportunity to stick up for race car drivers around the world and say that we are athletes. We are absolutely athletes. I think what people don't get too is your brain is programmed physiologically. There's a connection between your brain and what your body does, right? And the litmus paper here is basically determined on danger, right? Here's what people don't get. So when you're in your car and you're driving to the store, your brain recognizes that you are in no immediate danger, right? You're doing 30 miles an hour. It's relatively safe, right? We do it every day. Our brain recognizes. I've gone out every day and I've driven and nothing has ever happened to me. Your brain now thinks I'm in a safe situation. You're having no physiological response. You're having so little of a physiological response, you're able to turn the radio on, right? You're rocking out to a song while driving. This is how not a threat your brain thinks this is. You feel comfortable, you know, updating your Facebook account while you know, right? Like this is how comfortable and safe you feel. Race cars, completely different. The fact that when you start going to speed, your brain recognizes we are in real danger, right? Now, the minute your body goes into danger, you have your fight or your flight response, right? But your body starts to tense up. Your heart rate starts going 1,000,000 miles an hour. You know, we do that on a regular basis at work. We'll strap me in. We'll have the heart rate monitor on me, and then we'll go see how my heart rate compares to our main driver's heart rate. And the interesting thing is that our heart rates are exactly the same as an Olympic swimmer is when he's doing his laps, right? Now, if you want to go tell Michael Phelps that he's not an athlete, right, you can go tell him that. But I'm telling you, the ability to keep your heart rate at that elevated level, right, for that long. And here's the thing, Michael Phelps is only in the pool for 2 minutes or less at a time, right? He goes to one end, he goes back. That's the end of it, right? We have to maintain this heart rate for 2 hours at a time. Okay. So when people no, you're not an athlete. It's like no, it's because you think it's like driving your car, and it's not. It's nothing like that at all. Nothing like that at all. So, not to mention the reaction time. My reaction time has to be on par with a Major League Baseball hitter, swinging at a fastball. It's the same exact reaction time that he has to swing in that bat. I have to have the exact same reaction time to avoid the car that's doing 200 miles an hour, 6 inches to my, from my door. People, stop it. We are athletes, for sure. We are athletes. The amount of focus it takes to do this, stop. Just stop it. Just stop.
Hey, you beautifully put that. That was beautifully stated. And
well, thank you. People don't get it. People
it is
do
about
not get
understanding the intricate details into something, right? Because
yes,
I mean it's true. I think. Well, I know I did. I looked at it like car racing is. Yeah, I'm getting ready to go out here in my Honda. Getting ready to go, 150 miles, 200 miles, and okay, just
right
on the corners,
right. And
I didn't know that it does take. I didn't think about it, but it makes sense that it does take supreme concentration. It takes a lot of gumption, a lot of guts to go out here and go 200 miles an hour.
Your body is shutting down. That's the other thing people don't get. When your brain recognizes the fear, right, the danger, your body actually starts shutting down. Your cognitive functions are actually decreasing while your speed is increasing. The fact that you have to push past this wall that your body is wanting to shut down in this moment. I have to push past that mentally and keep going into the danger. This is a sport. This is absolutely a sport. People don't realize too that, for the naked eye, it looks like the cars did the exact same thing they did the last lap. But they absolutely did not. That's something people don't get about racing too. The situation is evolving every single lap. No 2 laps are exactly the same. And the minute you take the tires out onto the track, the degradation process starts. These tires will never be as good as they were when you first put them on, right? That changes everything. Everything is changing. So lap to lap to lap, as these tires are starting to wear down, the car is getting more and more unstable. Everything about this car is in a state of flux. Everything is moving. Everything is changing. It doesn't look like it's changing to the untrained eye. But for the driver, I can feel the difference. This is not the same car I drove the lap before, even though I'm in the same car I was in the lap before. The constant having to adjust to what the car is now doing, that it wasn't doing on that last lap, is remarkable. The weather plays such a huge factor. The sun, having to find the cold part of this track at all times. That people aren't getting that. But the position of the sun, obviously the sun moves. The earth moves around the sun, but as the earth is moving around the sun and the sun is moving throughout the track, that is affecting how the car now drives in that particular area of the track. You now have to find whatever the coldest spot is on the track, because that's where the tires are going to find the most grip. People aren't getting that. And as the sun is moving minute by minute, this race car is actually changing minute by minute. This car is never the same as it was the lap before. And I'm having to manage 50 different cars, technically, really, in a single race. If the race is 50 laps, I've had to deal with 50 different cars. I've had to learn how to drive 50 different cars, lap by lap by lap by lap, as it's coming. And not to mention, there's a dude 6 inches from me who wants we're fighting over this little piece of real estate while we're both adapting to what's it's stop.
Oh, that's scary.
This isn't a sport.
Yeah, that's scary. So
not a sport.
You definitely proved why racing is a sport. But what is considered a sport that isn't? That shouldn't.
That shouldn't be. You know what? Because I am an athlete who. I get angry when people try to take away that athlete status from what I do. I'm not going to do that to another person who plays a sport. I may not understand certain sports as well. I may not get why this is a thing with certain sports, but I will not take away the person doing it and what it takes to do that. I take it as if I don't understand why this is a sport, it's because I just don't understand what it is you do. But I would love to have a conversation with you and you break it down, like break down the science of it. It's all physics, it's all science. Break down the math. I want to see it, and then I can appreciate it. Once I see the math of it, once I see all that goes into this, I can then appreciate it, and I can be like, yeah, no, you are an athlete, because what you did there, you had to look to see where this was going, and you had to, move your hand that way to see where that's going. That takes this and that takes that. So I'm not gonna take that away from any other athlete.
Okay, well, I'll let you slide with it this time.
Yeah. this time.
But don't worry, I was looking forward to the next time you'd be back on the show where you'd be on the and then some of those questions will be unavoidable.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm looking forward to it.
It was fun. This is great meeting you, KJ, and
thank you. Likewise.
I wish you the best in your future.
I appreciate that.
SFLM, the regular season is coming up very, very soon. I can't wait to see what you guys do out there in the field.
Yes. Very much looking forward as well to the flight and just watching the Ottawa game. We started off like it was looking like a Spirit flight at first, right? I was like, wait, what kind of flight did I get on? It looked like Spirit, right? And then, but by the end of it, it was this was a Delta flight. By the end of it, I said, all right, we got a little bit of leg room up here. Look at me, right?
I'm sorry, that tickled me, bro. Oh man, that tickled me because I've heard some stories about it.
That's what I was telling the guys in the chat when we were down like 14-0 at the press. I was like, wait, this looks like a Spirit flight, y'all. We
Oh man, I tell you.
Passengers sitting on each other's laps. We gotta. You know how the Spirit flights go. We gotta double up on the seats. We gotta put the
whatever team is fortunate enough to have you on that squad. I guarantee you, they're in for a treat, man. It was a pleasure. It was
likewise.
Pure pleasure meeting you. And of course, you have an open invitation to come back whenever you want to. Love to have you.
That.
Maybe during the SFLM season, if you want to help me go over some of your games. About that, if you have time, I would love to have you. But before I let you go,
yes,
I have to give you the last word. So that can be a song, that can be a poem, or that can be just a simple shout out. But right now, okay.
Okay. I did not see that coming. But you know what? You know what I'm gonna do? I happen to have a copy of my book here, and I am going to read the foreword from Willie T. Ribbs. Willie T. Ribbs was the first African American to drive the Indianapolis 500. He wrote the foreword to my book, and I literally read what he wrote to me just about every single day, because it's such a huge motivator for me to keep going. So I'm gonna go with that. Okay, so it's been 17 years since I drove the world's most famous race for the second time. 17 years. In that 17 years, a very small percentage of the human population have become professional race car drivers, and an even smaller amount have reached the Indianapolis 500. Only a select few can achieve what I did in 91 and 93. And I can tell you firsthand, it takes a will that only a select few have. But I see it in this young man's story. He's been fearless. I've kicked open a door for the underdog, and I'd like to see more like Kristian step through. It won't be easy. It was never supposed to be. But more than just understanding this, his mindset is of doing whatever is necessary to overcome, just like me. Over the next 200 pages or so, you will read a story not often seen, if ever, in motorsports. I hope you find inspiration in his grit and his words. And to Kristian, persevere, young man. Persevere. Willie T. Ribbs.
Fantastic. Listen, you were the first person to ever read me forward his own book. So you just set the bar real high. I don't even know. I don't know what Adam gonna do.
Well, Adam's a musician, so if he doesn't break out his guitar, I think that's what he should do: is break out his guitar and sing you a song.
Well, we're gonna see. Otherwise,
hey, when is his interview anyway?
Tomorrow.
Okay. What time is that, Ashley? I want to troll Adam. Can we troll Adam when it comes to this part right here? When you do the last word part, because I'm telling you right now, he's gonna tell you, I don't know, just go flight, da 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 da. That's what he's gonna try to leave it at. And had you not known that he was a singer, you would have accepted that, I'm sure.
I would.
But we're gonna wait for him to do it. He's gonna say it, and then I'm gonna come in and be like, "Hey, Adam, guess what? Surprise! I am here, and you're not getting off that easy. Go grab your guitar. You're gonna sing Ashley a song, and that's what we're gonna have. We're gonna have a song played on SFL Nights.
Okay, listen. We're gonna do that. As a matter of fact, when his turn comes, and I'll actually DM you. When his turn comes,
please do. Please do. I live for these moments. I'm so there. Let's do that.
Oh, this is fun, Kristian. Thank you so much for being on. I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Yes. Yes, same.
And you have a wonderful day, sir. I really appreciate your time.
Back at you. Yeah, you do the same, and take care of the kids. They seem like you got a great bunch. You done really, really well with them. So keep that going. All right.
We'll do.
And I'll talk to you soon.
All right.
You too. Bye.
All right, everyone. Now I'm ending things off with a good friend of mine. Sought me out, came to the league, and was like, "Hey, just want to kind of get to know everybody and kind of get my story out there a little bit." And I have here with me Mr. Adam Chance. How are you doing?
Doing great. Yeah, thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
Glad you're here with me tonight. You were on the San Jose flight, correct?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. So that means you got a few teammates on here that actually cheer for you. Spoke very highly of you.
I love to hear that, and I'm sure I'd feel the same and say the same about them. It's a good community over there, and I couldn't have picked a better place to enter the league, I don't think.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. Well, let's get to know you, Adam.
Mm-hmm.
So, what is your age, your hometown, some interesting facts about yourself, and your favorite NFL team? Now, this might spark some controversy, so just be careful how you answer.
I'm sure it will, but I'm ready for that. I was born in the Panhandle of Florida, but I grew up in southern Alabama in a town called Bay Minette. It's right on Mobile Bay, close to the beaches down there. A lot of people don't know that there are beaches in Alabama, but there's some beautiful ones. They're kind of Alabama's best kept secret. But I grew up in that area, and because I grew up in that area, my family's all from the Panhandle, so we'd spend our weekends just across the state line in Florida. And at the time, Jacksonville didn't have a team in the NFL. Tampa Bay wasn't great, so they weren't getting televised. But Dan Marino was down in Miami, and the Dolphins were always broadcast because the Dolphins were always good. They never got that Super Bowl, but because of Dan, they were always good, and they got some TV time. So I grew up watching the Dolphins, lifelong Dolphins fan, which does spark a lot of criticism these days. But I've been living with that for 27 years or however long I've been a fan. But I'm 37 years old, and I think I've been watching the Dolphins since I was probably around 10, so that checks out.
Okay. I mean, Dolphins are cool with me. If you would have said Green Bay,
okay, yeah,
would have had some issues. I'm just
Well, before you say, I have a lot of friends. My biggest group of friends are probably Vikings fans.
Okay, I can roll with that.
Okay, I didn't know if that would conflict because I know they're not Green Bay people. What's your team?
I love the Bears and the Falcons.
Okay. Oh, nice.
Yes. So, You will be best friends by the end.
Yeah, no bones with the Falcons or the Bears.
Awesome. So what's some interesting facts about yourself?
Wow. That's a good question. I don't know if any of it's interesting. I'm a musician by trade. I've been doing that for 10 years. Yeah. I think that's probably about the only interesting thing about me these days. I'm pretty boring otherwise. I keep to myself. I'm pretty low key.
Hey, listen, nothing wrong with that. Actually, that keeps you out of trouble.
Yeah. And I think it's because I went through that time where I was getting in trouble. So nowadays I'm staying out of it.
Good man. It's a very wise choice. Now, you've been a musician. So what instruments do you play? Because I played the flute growing up.
Oh, nice.
From 4th grade all the way until I graduated from high school. Various bands. Marching band was my favorite.
Yep.
Things of that nature. So
I was a fellow marching band person, and that's kind of what got me into it. And I've told the story to at least a few of the people in the minor league chat, and I know my buddy A.J. Aleixo over there. We've talked about it a little bit, but I started in the band too in 6th grade, and that carried me through college. I did that through college, but my goal was to quit the band and play football. And I was doing football and band in high school, and there was going to come a time where I'd have to quit one or the other. I was going to choose football and stick with that. But I had an injury that took me out of the game, and it was kind of a blessing in disguise because that led me where I am now. I had a concussion that kept me out of the game. But then I picked up guitar and started songwriting at that point. And that's the main thing I play. I played saxophone in the band, by the way. But I don't pick up the saxophone much anymore. And by that, I mean, I haven't touched it in 10 years. I still have it, but I don't play it. But I'm mostly singer, songwriter stuff on the guitar if I'm messing around with an instrument. But primarily, I'm a singer. That's my main thing.
Oh, we're going to have to hear a little something.
I don't know about that.
We can do a duet together. It's okay.
Okay, all right, yeah.
But no, that's awesome. And being a musician, music is its own language anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And when you learn how to read music, when you learn how to even play by ear, because that's how I learned how to play the flute at first. And then, going through school, they helped me kind of sharpen everything. But
yeah,
it's a wonderful thing. And it kind of
is
your mind,
It does. And I think it accesses parts of your mind that you wouldn't in any other way. And I think it's great for young people to get involved in music. And we try and in my band, we try and encourage anybody that's interested to get into it. I don't know if there's anyone out there listening. It doesn't matter what age you are. If you're interested in picking up an instrument or learning how to sing, go out and do it. It's worth it.
Awesome. Well, tell us, Adam, how did you find the SFL of all the places you could have landed? How did you find it?
Well, first of all, I'm a lifelong football fan, like we've talked about. I'm also a diehard video game guy. It's probably my number one hobby, and I've played video games since I can remember. So, and I'm fast forward to like a couple of months ago, I was looking around on the internet, and I'd seen something on Reddit, I think, about something like the SFL, but for baseball. But I'm not really a big baseball fan, but I was looking for that. Somebody mentioned it, and I was looking for it on Google and somehow stumbled upon the SFL. And almost immediately I was like, got to sign up for this. It kind of scratches both of those itches, the video game love and the love of football. And little did I know what kind of community was there. So once I got involved with the community, there was no looking back. The community is really cool. Everybody's been great. It's the Discord's a blast. So I kind of stumbled upon it. It was happenstance.
Awesome. A lot of times you get different stories how that came about. Normally it's my friend brought me or something like that. So that's
right. Well, and to that point, I've got a handful of people that I'm gonna try and get involved, because I know a lot of my friends are gonna love it too. I've been telling everybody about it.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. The more the merrier.
Yeah.
And it's quenching a thirst or satisfying a need for maybe someone like you that did play the sports, but you got hurt and you couldn't finish. Or someone like me actually is not going to go out here and play for the Atlanta Falcons.
Right.
Real life, but I'll be the quarterback on your team right here, you know?
And that's another thing that I love about the league. And I had a chat with the commish early on to kind of get my head wrapped around all this. And it was one of the things he kind of preached. And I love the inclusivity of it and the fact that it doesn't matter who you are, where you came from, what age you are, what your background is, how you identify, you can play. And that just makes me love the community even more.
Exactly. And that's why a lot of us stay. I've been here since season 12, so this has probably been about 3 or 4 years just being involved in the league and making podcasts. This is my 206th one, you know? So
that's great.
Yeah, when I find something like that and you just want to dedicate your time to it because it's positive.
Yes, it's a positive thing, and my boy KJ and I have been talking about this a lot. There's a big future in the league, I think, and I know he and I have talked about being a part of it for a long time coming. It's a great thing, and I think it's only going to grow. So we're going to be pretty permanent fixtures, I think.
Love it. I love to hear it. So, what was it like getting picked up by the San Jose Play?
It was exciting because, you know, it's cool to have a team to identify with, first of all. And I was already on board with the concept, but then I kind of got just thrown in the fire is not the right term because that gives it a bad connotation. I was just placed in this Discord channel and I had no idea what to expect. But as soon as I got there, I felt like I was welcome with open arms. I felt like I'd known these people, and we've played our first preseason game at this point, and it was just a blast. Some of us got on a voice call and we're just having a good time talking, watching the game. So, like I said, it's kind of like a family. It's a community, and I felt that right away. So again, I think I landed in the right spot.
And what position are you playing in San Jose?
Inside linebacker.
Now, was that something that you wanted to do, or was that the only position that was open to you? Or?
A little bit of both. When I was younger and I played, I was a running back and a wide receiver. And I never played defense, but I've always loved the inside linebacker for the aspect that they're sort of like the quarterback on the defense, and they have the ability to kind of do it all. You know, they're kind of sort of like the safeties. They're the kind of guys that are supposed to be flexible and run up to try and stop the run or jump back into coverage or play zone or maybe even quarterback spy. And I like that about it. And I like the fact that I grew up watching guys like Zach Thomas, guys that were, and Jerome Baker now for the Dolphins, just guys that are always there when the play ends. Right. You know, making a difference in some way or another, whether it's making the tackle or coming to back someone up. And that's kind of what I wanted to be with my player.
Okay. And that's definitely needed.
Yeah.
And how easy was the process for you? Just joining, talking to Deputy Commissioner about the player position and things like that. How easy was it?
It's pretty seamless. I think I didn't have this hold up because I'm familiar with Discord, but I know Discord can be a little bit confusing to new people. And honestly, that's really the only thing that I could see someone might struggle with, because every step of the way, even if there's a question, someone, whether it be a teammate or a random person in the Discord that you haven't met yet, or the deputy commissioner, they're always there to help. So it's a seamless process.
Phenomenal. Now, Adam, do you find yourself wanting to do more in the league, maybe broadcasting, or maybe doing some stats, or maybe even, I don't know, being a coach of your own team one day?
Yes. I love the idea of being a player. Okay. But, you know, when I would play, actually back in the day when I used to play All-Pro and Madden over the years, my favorite aspect is franchise and being kind of the managerial side of things. Okay. So I want to to climb that ladder. I want to get involved in whatever way I can, whether it be with the flight or whatever team I might eventually land on, and maybe do some work for the front office, maybe even one day jump into ownership. But I have hopes to be involved in big ways.
Awesome. I mean, you have a nice voice to be on the mic, you know.
The broadcasting team.
Yeah.
That's never, I've always thought like, radio's not what it used to be, because nowadays it's more like the podcasting and stuff like that. But I've always thought it might be fun to do stuff like that, but I've never thought about broadcasting. But who knows? You never know. Might get inspired one day.
There you go. Let's try it. I've done it.
Really?
I did the best I could.
It does seem fun. I do enjoy listening to the different people around the SFL that are calling. There's some fun personalities out there.
Indeed. So what type of personality will you be bringing into someone's locker room when you get drafted?
I think, caring about the team as a whole. We've talked about this in the San Jose flight chat, but I think teamwork is important to me. I'm someone who will watch the game and I want my guy to make a play, but I'm going to be cheering the team on as a whole and, just having fun otherwise. I think one of the things that I appreciate about groups like this is the humor. There's no lack of funny gifs and jokes going around, and that's a big part of what I want to bring myself to a team as well.
Okay. And so what are your expectations from the team that will draft you?
I think it's a group that takes it seriously, not someone who hasn't done their progression in weeks and maybe has slacked off and forgotten about it. Thankfully I haven't seen a lot of that. I know it exists out there, but just a bunch of guys who take it seriously, but can still have fun at it and not take it too seriously, but kind of somewhere in between, I think is important. But to win, let's get in there and win a championship. Let's get in there and have fun while we're doing it,
Awesome. A couple more questions for you. Just if someone wanted to pick you up as a different position besides linebacker, would you be willing to do that, or is that your particular choice?
I've been enjoying the idea that I'm an inside linebacker, but I would definitely be open to it because, like I said, it's more about what's needed for the team, and I'm definitely happy to kind of transition into another role if that's what a team needs.
All right. Fun question for you.
All right.
What is a sport that is considered a sport that shouldn't be? For me,
it shouldn't be.
It's curling. Okay. KJ and I kind of had a thing about that last night.
Yep.
And I know where he's coming from, but I'm curious. What do you think?
Ooh, well, I guess I can't say auto racing. KJ, I'm totally kidding. I don't believe that. I'm just messing with my boy. That's a good question. I've never thought about that. As far as real sports go, the only ones I love truly are American football, and I'm a big soccer fan. That being said, I feel like there is curling's a good one because I didn't know it existed until a few years ago, because I'm from where snow is only something that you think they made up for Christmas movies, but I have in person seen it now, and I mean, I guess it's cool for those people. That I enjoyed it, but it might have been the beer. But I don't know. That's a good question.
Okay.
I'm open to all. I mean, we're on the verge of esports being such a huge thing. I think in the next 10 to 20 years, and it's funny to see friends that don't know about that kind of criticizing that, and I'm like, you don't know, it's going to be huge. So I'm not. If I come up with one, I'll tell you about it. Maybe next time I'm on here, we'll talk about that.
And I'm sure it's going to be a next time.
I hope so, yeah.
Yes, it will. Okay, to your point, though, esports, do you think that should be considered a sport then?
From a traditional sense, I don't know how we define sports, and it might talk about athleticism, but I do, yeah, I think so, because it may not be what we consider athleticism in a traditional sense, but I believe, from a mental standpoint and a, hand-eye coordination standpoint, you have to be very skilled to play some of these games. And I'm very into esports. I love esports. So yeah, I think so. I think we'll start to see the lines blurred in that definition as people start realizing that esports is like a real thing.
It's amazing how many different responses that I get. And I don't think either one is wrong or right. I think it just depends on how you define sports. Period.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, if you're saying it's something that an athlete's doing from a physicality standpoint, then yeah, I could see where that argument can be made. But I think we should start changing the definition.
I agree. Well, this was fun. As I said, like real chill. The next time I have you on, though, you will be on the hot seat.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
All right. I guess I'll get to work. I'll be prepared.
Exactly. I'll let you go ahead and get your feet wet now and just welcome you.
Well, thanks for going easy on me, though. Yeah.
No problem. So this was fun, and of course you're invited back anytime you want to. Perhaps if you have time, if you want to go over some SFL games when the season starts with me, we can go over the slate of games, see where teams need work and things like that. Love to have you back on. But
I'd love to do it. I
cannot let you go.
Okay.
Without giving you the last word. So that means you can give me a song or a poem or a simple shout out. But I will say this. Now, KJ was supposed to come in tonight. We were supposed to be doing this a little later, so I don't think he got the message. However, he told me to tell you that I need a song. Get the guitar.
He kind of warned me about this today, and I didn't know how serious that would be. How about this? Next time I'm on, okay, I'll have something like that for you.
Okay.
She's looking at me real disappointed because I don't know if this is just an audio podcast, right?
No,
anybody listening?
No, this is visual.
Oh, they can see the visual?
Yes.
Okay.
You're gonna see us.
Well, yeah, I'm sorry about that, but next time I will be prepared.
Okay, I'll let you slide with that one.
Okay,
but thank you. Just so you know, you're gonna hear it in the locker room.
All right, I know. Oh, there's no doubt about that. I know I'll hear it as soon as this comes out. Yeah.
But you can give a shout out to anybody that you would like to right now.
No, I just want to give a shout out to everybody out there in the league and say I look forward to working with you / dominating you on the field.
Oh, I like that. Very cool.
Just stir up a little, it's all in good fun. Just stir up a little bit get a little heat on the field. It's always fun to have a little on-field rivalry. So.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you're going to have enough of it. Trust me. When
I'm sure. Yeah.
Fun. But thanks, Adam. I'll see you soon.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Bye.
And that is it, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you. Special thanks goes out to Jorge Torres, Adam Chance, and
Kristian Aleixo
for being on the show. And of course, my co-host, T-Roy. T-Roy, do you have any words of wisdom for these lovely people out here?
Yes, don't sleep funny on your left leg. That's all I had to say. Give yourself a muscle strain. You had to go to the hospital.
Only you. Lord have mercy. No, actually, it ain't only you. It was me too. But man.
At least I did unconsciously. I can't say the same about you, though.
No, man, you just hopping out the bed like you 12 years old again. And you're like, no. Don't do that. You gotta stretch first. Oh man, but just gotta take care of yourself. We all do. But I am looking forward to bringing you another great podcast next week, y'all. But until then, y'all stay safe, treat each other well. T-Roy and Striker out.